Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you by Sleeper, the only fantasy football app made for fans by fans. This is the show where we take a look at the details and goings on in the league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing?
Another massive loss for me, Ted. And what's worse is last week I backed up. No, or wait, I don't know what I said last week, but one thing I'm gonna do this week is drink.
Oh gosh, come on, man!
Finish off this bottle. But I said something, and I was alcoholic freeze pops.
Oh gosh, it is 8:25 in the morning. I just want to let everyone know.
Oh god,
why are you thumbs downing yourself?
Huh?
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
You're just ready for some.
I'm going after Jack. No, I'm going after Jack.
Woo!
The disrespect that we got, that's what made this loss worse. Don't worry, it's just a Red Bull. It's not any more alcohol. The disrespect that we got trying to get him to come on the podcast was sad that he wouldn't. And I just felt very disrespectful in how he went about things, pretty much saying how he hated the podcast and he doesn't look like how much work we put into this, time, effort. He thinks that we just don't do anything with our lives.
Hi, will you be using the mobile app today?
No.
Can I get 2 steak?
Speaking of which, today we've got 2 special guests.
And,
our commissioner in the McDonald's drive-thru. Trevor licked the.
Did you just get a water?
A large coffee.
And also,
use the app. Large coffee's $1.
Anything else for you? That'll be it.
That's a mistake. He's wasting money.
Thank you.
Did you just get a water with your breakfast?
And also our other guest, Mr. Beep. Hey, how are you guys doing today? We love to have you on.
Trevor's a little busy, so I'm good, Ted. Thanks for having me on. It's a beautiful day. It's almost Thanksgiving, and I was thinking about it before we hopped on. I'm going to call myself Holiday Harry because you guys only have me on when it's a holiday. I was here on Halloween, and now here I am the day before Thanksgiving.
Can you kick him out?
Holiday Harry.
I can't wait for today, and I can't wait for Christmas. Let's get it going.
Well, that's great. We're a little limited on time, so why don't we jump right into it? Let's talk about our 2 guests. They had an absolute nail biter of a matchup. Yeah. It came down Jalen Hurts and Kelsey on Monday night. Could they beat Pacheco by 25? It was insane. Trevor escapes the last place game, even though he committed suicide late Thursday night. RJ, what quick thoughts on this before we give it to our competitors?
I know Trevor thought that the week was over after Thursday night, which it did look bad, especially for later in the year. But the 20, losing 2 guys, but the 23 from Joe Burrow and the 11 from Mixon, that's not terrible. And 5 from Mark Andrews, obviously not what you wanted from Mark Andrews, but it's still serviceable for a tight end this year. It wasn't. Am I looking at the? I'm looking at the wrong week. I am looking at the wrong week. Oh, Burrow only had 10. Sorry. Yeah. Then I would have committed suicide. But Joe Mixon did have 18. So, I mean, it evened out. And 111, pretty good score, especially for the position you were in. Disappointing from Stephon Diggs. Brian Robinson, somehow doing RB4 and got 16 maybe this week. Josh Jacobs not what you wanted. Really tough showing to get that loss on what looked to be a pretty promising Monday night. So we seem to have a lot of those this year, Monday night nightmares. So
start off with you, Trevor.
I
want to talk to the winner.
Yeah, after Thursday night, I thought I was pretty much done. I was hoping for probably close to somewhere between 50 and 60 after Thursday, and ended up with 30. And like we were saying last week on the podcast, it was really going to come. We were saying we were going to know the outcome of the matchup by Thursday. So I was thinking that I was down and out. Had already chalked it up to a loss, but then after that, the week played out pretty much perfectly for me. Obviously, with Diggs being a low scorer, that was a little different than what I was hoping for, but still worked out the way that Kelsey and Hurts were playing in that night game that still got the win. So
Cowboys defense.
Very important win for me. So yeah.
Cowboys defense was big.
Got that pick six. So but I may have cursed Joe Burrow on the podcast. I know some of you have been seeing that YouTube short out there.
Viral, very viral.
A lot of people are in my DMs saying that I cursed him. A lot of mean things being said to me. But I feel sorry for Joe Burrow, but now it's Josh Dobbs season. So
hey, pray for Josh. Pray for Josh.
That's right.
Don't want him to die. He already has cancer. We do not want him to get further. Have you seen the way he looks? He doesn't have eyebrows. Hey, Kevin, what do you have to say about that disappointing loss?
Yeah, that one hurt. This puts Trev at 2-0 against me on the season. Could be massive for tiebreakers. Missed out on clinching a playoff berth, which I could have done. But let's see, I had a couple of notes here. For maybe the first time this year, I made some fatal bench errors. My team's not very deep. Not very deep. And so I haven't had a lot of weeks where I'm like, oh, I started the wrong guys. But Ridley and Hopkins on my bench both went crazy. Two guys I frequently start.
Wait, they went what?
They went braid. They went nuclear. And two guys I frequently start, and I just left them there on the bench. So egg on my face. Going into Monday night, I mean, I think I win that game 99% of the time, but this was the one. So Trev needed to win. He got it. It was a good win. I want to introduce just a short 20-second segment, Ted. Can I do that? I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead, Holiday Harry.
I listed down some things that have happened since I last lost. So I last lost on October 15th after my 4-game win streak. Since then, I've turned 26 years old. The Rangers have won the World Series. A mass shooter in Maine killed 18 people.
Oh, God.
Flag football was added to the 2028 Summer Olympics. The Guinness Book of World Records confirmed that a surfer set the new record for largest wave ever paddled by a woman. That happened in Hawaii. About 10,000 people have died in Israel and Gaza. Okay. And Miss Nicaragua won Miss Universe. So it's been a while since I lost. I don't remember how to lose, but it's not fun. Life doesn't have meaning the last few days.
I was waiting when you were going to do like these current events. I was waiting for some sort of mass shooting to be mentioned.
You went right to it. So moving on with our next matchup, we had Jack beating RJ down. I haven't looked at the points, but RJ's the past 3 weeks has been averaging at least 160 points against. RJ's unlucky streak continues. Sam Laporta, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne letting him down. Justin Fields did score over 20 points, so he really can't poo-poo himself too much. Jack was prepared, as always, by nuclear performances by Tyreek, Gus Edwards, Tank Dell.
You just got your food?
Forever.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Keep rolling, Ted.
And then, Jack, as much as we all hate him and his attitude and how he treats us as human beings, boy, has he really come into his own as a fantasy manager. His team is looking good. He's added free agent running back depth. It looks pretty good. He's added wide receivers. His team's looking good. RJ, what do you have to say about shitting the bed and also getting raped?
Yeah, he beat me. I really just don't want to give him any sort of time of day, or even talk about it because the disrespect that he has shown this podcast, I don't think he deserves it. And I think that we should maybe talk about getting him out of the league, just solely for the disrespect that we've gotten. And that's all I have to say. I don't really want to talk about it.
All right, so moving on, we had the what I like to think of the biggest matchup. I beat Chase 109-92. I think this is a big momentum shift for both teams. Chase wasn't playing RJ or Trevor, and boy, did it show. Mostert A-Chain didn't really work out, only had 10 points. He stacked them. Not really any horrible performances besides a chain, but Dak and CD didn't go nuclear, and I think it really showed his team as being one-dimensional. My team was really bailed out by nuclear performances by Justin Herbert and Saquon. DK finally had a good week. You know, I felt good about that one. I did only score 109 points, and I was playing the league bottom scorer, but you know, you take a win as you can get it. You play to win the game. You don't play to just play. RJ, do you have anything on that one?
Yeah, I think that Chase just doesn't care about fantasy unless he faces us because Devon A-Chain just now decides he's coming off the IR and Chase decides to start him after starting Brandon Ayuk when Brandon Ayuk's going nuclear. Oh, wait, no, he already started 3 wide receivers. But why did he take Brandon Ayuk finally out of his lineup? I don't know. And then he was starting Rachaad White instead of Devon A-Chain. Rachaad White got 14. That would have no, it still would have lost. I don't know. Chase's team sucks when he's not facing me and Trevor. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. So it's supposed to be a surprise for every single person. We invited every single person on the pod, our whole league, because I wanted everyone. I was going to do a Thanksgiving thing and say how thankful I was for each person. Monty's sick. Kyle is sleeping. Chase said no, and obviously Jack said no. So it's supposed to be every single person. So that kind of ruined. That's what ruined the podcast. So yeah,
we got halfway
there.
But
there's
barely.
We're already
missing
1/4 there. Like always, 1/4 there.
Seems a lot. Who cares most about this league? I'm fucking driving it on.
I got home at 2 a.m. last night, and I'm here.
That's 6 a.m. UTC. Well, moving on to the next matchup. Yeah, as RJ said,
Hang on. First off, how long does it take to get a fucking bagel? Second off, I think Jack needs to release a statement for why he doesn't want to be on the podcast. If he even listens to this.
I don't think he does.
You got a bagel? You got a bagel?
Steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just raw dogging a McDonald's bagel. Hey, Ted, I have some notes.
But still, why not a McGriddle?
Oh,
got him.
We need to make that a poll. Who the hell gets a bagel and not a McGriddle?
It's the friendly wings all over again.
Hey, Kevin, you said you had some stats or something?
Yeah, I know we're moving fast. I have a couple of quick notes. I want to talk about Davante Adams. 8.43 points per game since his week 3 explosion. Chase has guys on his bench like Brandon Ayuk, Javonte Williams, Jerome Ford, Rachaad White. I don't think we see Davante Adams the rest of the year. That's my prediction.
I'm sure we will because Chase isn't. I'm sure we will because Chase isn't facing me or Trevor the rest of the year, so he just doesn't care about his lineup. I'm sure he's just going to leave him in his lineup and not really pay much attention to it.
But he knows exactly what I'm saying, and he's going to play him because of it.
That's why you said that. That's why you said that.
Here.
Trev, you drinking?
What?
Are you
What?
drinking, Trev?
Oh, yes. Taylor.
Taylor drinking?
Well, moving on to our last matchup, we had Monty beating Kyle 126 to 107. Kyle, Monty, we wish you were here. Monty moves into first place. He had high quality play all around. Lamar, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra, Tyler Bass, all scoring more than 15. That's the type of win you want. That was a team win right there. Kyle had some great production out of Josh Allen, David Montgomery, Gibbs, lackluster performances from Eckler, Kmet, Harrison, Butker. Just didn't do enough. Sort of the story for Kyle's season. Some players doing well, but most of them not doing well. RJ, you got anything to say about this matchup?
Yeah, the only thing really is the Rams suck. Cooper Kupp, and that goes with you, Kev, Puka. Like, it's getting a little scary, which is wild to even think about with how consistent the play was for at least one of them. What did Puka do this last week? I don't even know. Did he do well?
16.
Oh, he had 16. Oh, okay.
He did well, but Cup got hurt.
He did get hurt. He did get hurt.
And he wasn't doing anything. And then as soon as Cup got hurt, he was doing everything. So
movie. Okay, never mind then. Fuck me. Josh Allen for Kyle, big. And the double running back for him in Detroit is working wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he got the loss, that is massive to have those two guys solidified in his lineup for a lineup that has been questionable. Tony Pollard, of course, goes off on Kyle's bench, like he pretty much said was going to happen when he finally decides to bench him. So it'll be interesting what he does, because now he has those four running backs, Eckler, Pollard, two Lions running backs. That's all he can really do. The disrespect while I'm speaking. The disrespect that he has while I'm speaking. But yeah, good week for Binky.
And that was week 11. Boy, are things heating up. Just one segment real quick. As we get closer to the playoffs, I want to talk about the playoff standings, where everyone is right now.
Ooh.
Right now, we've got Binky and Jack. I'm going to call him Jack now until he gets on this podcast. Then I'll call him what he wants to be called. Binky and Jack as 1 and 2 seed, but Chase is right on their tail. He's at 7-4, Jack's at 7-4, Monty's at 8-3. And then in the last place game, it's a real close 3. We've got RJ in last at 3-8, and Kyle and Trevor at 4-7. They're gonna be battling to get out. Do you guys have anything to say about where people are looking, who's going to get the bye, who's going to be in the last place game?
My points against is 150 points higher than Trevor's, which is second. And also, Jack is the highest scoring guy, and I'm over 100 points. My points against is over 100 more than his points scored. That, and then also one thing that's really intriguing on the transactions I just noticed an hour ago. This is why I was laughing. An hour ago, I picked up Will Lutz and dropped Jake Elliott. And then I decided, you know what, never mind. Pick up Jake Elliott, drop Will Lutz. 35 minutes ago, Trevor picks up Will Lutz and drops Matt Gay. And then 34 minutes ago, Trevor picks up Matt Gay and drops Will Lutz. Oh, man.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Trevor's trying to mimic me. I could see Will Lutz is he's packing his bags, traveling to each place. People are just picking him up, releasing him. Like, it's like he doesn't have a family.
Poor Will Lutz, man. It's just bouncing around between the waiver wire and two different teams.
That was so funny. That was so funny.
Now, moving on to our next segment.
Ted, I have some thoughts on the playoff picture.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
I can't remember the last time we had this much separation. Like, especially, I certainly thought I was going to win this past week. But the fact that, and I think Kyle texted me, I might have technically clinched already. And the fact that we have 3 weeks left and half the league already has a playoff spot, I just feel like that's never happened before. We usually have like one guy who goes on a heater, but I can't remember a year where it's been this separated into two tiers. That's all I got.
Trev, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think that as far as both for the come game and for the bye weeks, I feel like there's some huge matchups where those teams play each other. Like for the come game, for instance, matchups between like I play Kyle, RJ plays Kyle, I play Teddy, RJ plays Teddy. Those 4 games, I think whoever does the worst in those 4 games, I think will determine it. Because I mean,
It's
that's going to be a massive swing with like one of those teams getting a win and one team getting a loss each week. So.
Oh yeah. One thing, I don't know if breakdowns are on the historical data, but I think it's baffling that Teddy's breakdown is 26 and 51. Like dead last by a good margin in the breakdown. Because that's usually been a very good gauge of where the standings are in past years, but not this year. At least not with Teddy. Teddy's like such a big anomaly. That's all I got. That's all.
Where
you play the team across from you. RJ's 4.
Yeah, I'm 4th.
But he's also dead last in the breakdown that matters.
I have a positive breakdown record. I'm 39 and 38, even after last week.
But you're last in the league.
Bullshit.
So moving on, Kyle's stat of the week. We were hoping we could have him on. It seems he blew all his stats onto the pod last week. Seems like he didn't have
his load.
Seems like he didn't have any stats to share, but that's okay. I'm all statted out. You know, sometimes you got to give yourself a break, put some baby powder down there. And then as far as RJ's poll position, RJ made a poll incorrectly about the Golden Bachelor. He didn't realize it was Fantasy Suites this week and not the finale, which is tonight. Or was it last night? Shoot, who do you pick? But we have our own beep making a poll. Who would win his matchup between him and Trevor? 3 votes were for Kevin winning, and 3 were for a tie. And Trevor came out on top. So people both didn't believe in him and also hated Kevin so much they tried to ruin his poll by making it be an impossibility. But yeah, Kevin, how do you feel that people were actually rooting for you to win? It seemed like they were choosing you to win.
You know, this is why I'm not the poll guy. That's all I'm thinking. Probably my first and last poll of the year, it bit me right in the ass, and that's why I leave that to the experts. I am not a poll guy. Long look in the mirror after that one.
Well, Trevor, you got anything?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even believe it myself. I voted for Kevin to win.
Wow.
That's because you're the king of the reverse jinx. You are the most hypocritical reverse jinxer in the league. Give him the crowns. Trevor Frozen. I don't even think you heard
it. Yeah, Trevor Frozen. Monty Binky is the king of the reverse jinx when he needs it. He makes it personal. He doesn't text it in the group. He texts you individually and says, congratulations on your win.
Trevor's, I would argue, is worse. He's so sneaky with it. He's like, oh, if things happen like I expect them to, go kill yourself.
Wow.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said on Monday night that I thought I had about 5% chance of winning, which ended up being so true because Kelsey and Hurts both looked horrible. And Pacheco even played well against the Eagles' #1 run defense, and I still barely won. Like
stat-wise, didn't Jalen and Travis do okay stat-wise?
Yeah,
Or no?
Yeah,
Absolutely not. Jalen has something towards game of the year.
which was 18 points, which would already be
18.9, which
RJ's
is
best.
Yeah, that would be my third best performance out of a quarterback.
But that's not close to what Jalen. I mean,
Yeah, but you fucking
J-
suck.
Jalen's an absolute beast. That was nowhere near his usual production. You know what? I'm just getting pissed off all over again. Fuck that.
And then if Kelsey had caught that ball and not fumbled, I think Kevin would have won just based on the stats alone from that one fumble, because -2 the fumble and he had 10 yards and a catch. How do you feel about that, Kevin?
He gets the. I don't think that's true. He gets the points for that catch, doesn't he?
Do you if you fumble?
I was wondering that. I'm pretty sure, don't you? It's like if you catch like an 80-yard pass and then fumble, you still get the stats for those 80 yards.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
I didn't
Maybe
know that.
I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. You should know this, Commish.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait a second.
Laminated sheet.
Let me check this out.
Why'd you have it so readily available?
Is there an FAQ on there? Frequently asked questions. Can we see if that's
There
on
is not. I do have some scribbles by someone.
I'll have to write that down. Something to add into the laminated sheet for next year.
Should we get?
Oh, I'm getting a
Good for
call
you.
from my producer. We have a quick ad break, Thanksgiving themed this week. I hope you stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Zions Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. If you're just joining us, we've already gone through the Week 11 preview, the stats,
Kick the stigma.
the polls.
Kick the stigma.
Kick the stigma.
Kick the stigma. That was so funny.
I hope you guys liked that
Embrace it.
ad last week.
Kick it.
You know, we're proud of
I
our
was
product.
dying.
Right at home.
Stigma. Well, let's get into the Week 12 preview. RJ, I believe the sports book has something to say.
Is it week 12?
Yes.
Oh, wow. As we begin the preview of week 12 of the 2023 ZFFFL, I must remind you of our great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL ASICS Sportsbook, ASICS Footwear. They sent over a poem for me to read today. Oh, ASICS shoes, so sleek and neat. Your comfort's like a tempting treat. With every stride, you hug my feet. Making workouts feel like a sultry feat. In laces tied, you hold me tight. Supporting moves throughout the night. No blisters, pain, or awkward plight. Just cushioned joy. Oh, what a sight. Go to asics.com and find your tempting treat in time for the holidays. With code ZFFFL at checkout, you will receive a 25% discount on everything.
Wow,
So
that was
everything?
amazing. That was amazing.
Good for
So
us.
let's get into our first matchup this week. I'm calling this the Civil War rematch. We've got Monty versus Kevin. We all know which side Kevin's on. Big storylines in this one. Can Monty extend his lead into first place? Will JJ come back, replace Cooper Kupp, and really cement Monty's status as a super team that can't be touched no matter the injury, no matter who's playing, no matter what? Can Kevin cling back into the playoffs after a tough loss last week? He needs Jason and Kelsey to go nuclear. What is the sportsbook saying about this one, Mr. Wagner?
Yeah, I really don't have much else to say, but the sportsbook gave me Binky -2.5, money line Binky -125, Kevin -117.
Wow. Okay. Almost sounds like pick-em-ons.
Close.
Trev, who you got in this one?
I think it'll come down to the status of both Cup and JJ, if they're playing or not. If they
These odds are pending on those players playing.
yeah.
Obviously, lines can change.
So I'll say if those guys play, I'm going Monty. If they don't play, I'll go Kevin.
Riveting.
Yeah.
Kevin, how do you think about your chances?
I call this the I've been to the mountaintop matchup, which is a very famous speech by one of my favorite civil rights activists, Martin Luther King. Now, both Monty and I have been to the mountaintop. I'm coming off of 4 straight wins. He's coming off of 3. I said he was suspect last time I was on here. Just threw it right back in my face with 3 straight wins. You guys covered some good stuff, but we have Trevor on. I mean, Monty's crystal ball vision is turning out just as he wanted with that trade. JJ might not play this week, but he's going to be back for the playoffs. James Conner is healthy now. I have Lamar, McCaffrey, Swift, Thielen, Dalton Schultz all playing bottom 10 defenses against their position. Guys, I'm going to switch tabs here. Look at his bench. I mean, Taysom Hill, Tua, Zach Moss. Cooper Kupp's not even in the lineup right now. I mean, the guy's absolutely stacked. For me, I'm just going to play the hits. I mean, I've weaseled my way into having 2 top 5 running backs, even though on paper it really doesn't feel that way. So I'm just going to play those guys. The same guys I've been putting out there. Hopefully I can make the right decisions. Don't leave a 30-point Calvin Ridley on my bench again. And as far as what I'm picking. What?
You froze for a sec.
Oh, and as far as what I'm picking, I just want to say I have a dream that my 9 little fantasy players will one day live in a league where they will not be judged by the misfortunes of their record, but by the content of their fantasy football play. I have a dream today on Kevin plus 2.5. I, of course, also took that.
So you could still lose? You could still lose plus 2.5.
I will take
you lose by 1.
Those points. That, of course, was also from my favorite civil rights activist, Martin Luther King.
All right, mocking the civil rights movement aside.
Did he mock? I think you're putting words into his mouth.
I have 14 pieces of MLK memorabilia just behind me here. I'm 14? Not going to show you. Yeah, 14.
Quoting what Dr. King went through compared to your fantasy football record seems a little bit over the line.
Mine's worse.
But anyway, let's continue.
That loss last week was worse.
Let's continue in what I'm calling the Gatorade matchup of the week. We've got Jack versus Trevor. This is huge implications.
Wait, why Gatorade?
They sponsored us. They wanted to get involved.
Oh, okay.
New sponsor alert.
Thank you to the fine folks at Gatorade. So for this one, I call this a real must-win for Jack, a real can't-lose for Trevor, as Trevor might say. Can Josh Dobbs survive another week for Trevor? Can Jack's big players continue to go nuclear on his good team that keeps getting better? Trevor, what do you have to say about this matchup with Jack? Oh wait, RJ, what's the line? Apologies.
For Jack
Trevor.
Everything that you just said hit everything I was gonna say. The Jack and Trevor matchup. I feel like I might need to change these odds. I don't think this is correct, but it's Jack minus 6.5. Get Goff my lawn minus 140. Trevor minus 110.
Trev, what you got? How you feel?
I'm cutting in and out here. Go ahead.
Can I jump in before Trev because I have to leave in like a minute?
Why is that?
Yeah. So people coming
for
you after they heard what you did?
I'm just gonna drink my White Claw while I go meet with my client at 9 o'clock.
Oh, what claw?
Okay, it's 8:59. So my final thoughts. I'm going with myself, Jack, Kyle, and I'm going with Ted in the RJ Ted matchup. I just want to touch on my last mini segment, which is things that we're thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving. I have three of them. Taylor Swift, because Kelsey wouldn't have been nearly the player he is this year without him. I'm thankful for Las Vegas because that's the only thing that brings me happiness anymore. And lastly, I'm thankful for all of you, and I guess the four others that are not here today don't care about us, this podcast, A6 Sportsbook, and they don't give us the time of day. But thankful for all of you guys and thankful for the beating I'm going to put on Sir Binks a lot this week. It's been fun.
Appreciate you for coming on.
I just want to apologize real quick for anything that he said that was insensitive to our viewers. He does not represent this podcast or its views. But Trevor, before he so rudely interrupted you, how do you feel about your matchup against Jack this week?
Yeah, I mean, I like what you because I can't lose. But
all right, yeah.
I think that last week was a must win, and I got it. So I don't need to win this week. I think
Trevor,
matches, I think it's one for important. Can you not hear me?
No.
We can hear you now, but I think you were saying it's a you don't see this as a can't lose. Last week gave you some wiggle room.
Sure, close enough. You guys can just talk. I'll just listen.
All right. I think the internet connection on Interstate 75 is
but now he's fine. Like he put his phone down, and it's perfect connection. Probably better than ours. Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, I think Trevor, he thinks he does have. I think he's a little more comfortable than he should be because you know, if Kyle or RJ get a win, I think that puts him pretty far back in. RJ, I think you've beat him twice, right?
Yeah. The thing with me though is did we already even talk about our matchup? We haven't talked about it yet.
No.
Well, I was just gonna say the thing with me is these next 2 weeks are like actual must wins for me. I gotta beat you and I gotta beat Kyle. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that I'm in the come game. So
well, I guess we'll take a look at the next matchup. We've got Chase versus Kyle in the Under Armour matchup of the week. This one is another huge implications for both teams. A real must win for Chase, a real can't lose for Kyle. Can Chase bounce back against someone not named RJ or Trevor? Can Dak and CD go nuclear? Kyle really needs to claw out of whatever hole he's been in this whole season. There's been some bright spots, but he really needs that Lion running game to produce. Is that enough workload for both of them? Who knows? What does a sportsbook think about this one?
Yeah, personally, I think it's going to come down to Kyle needs to pick the correct group of running backs. 3 out of his 4. Don't know which one he's going to take. Trevor's frozen again. Don't know what wide receiver he's going to take, and Josh Allen needs to do well at Philly, which might be pretty tough for him. And then, I mean, Chase hasn't even set his lineup. Devon A-Chain's hurt, still in there. Chase just is going to have to perform against someone else other than me and Trevor to get the win. Facing the Dolphins in New York against the Jets could be pretty tough because the Jets defense is pretty good. I don't know, but the sportsbook has it Chase -4.5. I think it has a little adjustment to how Chase has been performing against people not named me and RJ and Trevor. So Chase minus 4.5. Chase money line is minus 135. Kyle minus 115.
Trevor, do you have enough internet connection to
say a name? Just say a
name. Yeah.
I think who does Chase play?
Kyle.
Chase.
Okay.
All right.
It was Chase minus 30. You're still taking Chase?
Wait, it was minus 30? No, actually, I'll take Kyle plus 30 because Chase can't fucking play against anybody else besides us two.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to our last matchup, the host versus host matchup. This is where it's really gonna get personal. I really need it's really honestly not gonna be tough with Aaron Jones out because boy does he suck doo-doo. But I'm gonna really need Derrick Henry to punish that Carolina D like people have been doing. But really, Justin Herbert and Saquon really need to get my team. And I just need at least one other person to get over 15 points if they go nuclear. And then, RJ, I'm looking at your team, and there's a lot of potential from the running back position. But every other position, I'm not really fearing that much. They don't put fear into my eyes. And I just know I'm going to pop off for like 130, 140 this week. So I'm not really worried too much.
Yeah, for you, you should feel good because you're facing me, so your team will go off. I think I should feel good as well because I will bet all of your players to score a touchdown, so I'm going to make a lot of money because obviously that will happen against me. I would personally be afraid of Keenan Allen. I know he's facing a tough Baltimore pass defense, but I mean I think he might even be wide receiver 2 on the year. He has done very well. But yeah, like you said, it's up in the air. We're at the bottom. It sucks. I really wish we weren't here as the host of the podcast. I wish it was like maybe fighting for the bye week type. Like those are way more fun matchups. These aren't very fun. Especially with all the respect I have for my host. And the book seems to not really know either. It has a pick 'em. Minus 120 each.
I think this one's a real toss-up. Trevor, do you have anything? RJ or Teddy?
RJ.
Whoa.
You know, I can see that
confidence. And judging by the history in the sports book that I have, that doesn't sound very good. For me, at least. Oh, he's frozen.
Yeah, he's going on a long diatribe. And then just let me check my notes. I think that's all the matchups for this week. This has been a quicker pod.
Has it been quicker?
Yeah, it's been a lot quicker.
Okay.
It's only been 50 minutes.
Well, happy holidays, guys.
But yeah, happy holidays to everyone, especially the people who didn't come on the podcast. RJ and I just wanted to do something special, see your guys' faces, talk with you all as a group. You know, it's really sad that only 2 times a year do we really all get together and see each other. So we just wanted to do something special, but obviously some people don't care about this league.
Yep. Teddy, see, that's one thing I love about this podcast. The more we've done it week after week is me and you, we stayed in touch way more often than what we have in the past. It's been more of for me in the past years, what has Teddy been doing for the past year? I'll find out on draft week. And then the occasional where I try and make a trade with you and you like barely respond back, like with some joke. And I'm like, I don't know if you're like, I'm seriously offering you this and you don't really pay attention. But now we discuss every week. We're always talking about new content, what we could maybe do for the podcast. And it's sad that one specific guy on the podcast or in our league just disrespects the hell out of everything we do. And it really hurts, especially the way he responded. And it bothered me the way he responded big time. How he was just like, I don't want to be on the podcast. Like, we are nothing. Like, we're not worth his time. Like, he's so high and above us. I think we deserve an apology personally, for trying to provide content, excitement, and innovation to this league. That's it. That's all I got. Happy holidays, though. Happy holidays. I am thankful for each and every one of you except him. So,
Trevor, do you have anything you want to say through the connection on that you can?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me right now? Is this a good time?
Right now, yes.
All right. So I'm really thankful for all you guys. Like y'all already said, really glad to be a part of this league, but I'm especially thankful for you two. I know you put in a lot of hard work each week. To do this every week is a lot. Even the weeks I come on, I feel like it's a lot to put together for just 1 week. So the fact that you guys are doing it back to back to back to back to back weeks is awesome, and I appreciate you guys. But
the back to back to back to back. There's
happy
more
holidays.
backs,
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving, and good luck in everyone's playoff pushes.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, and then I just want to say I'm thankful for you guys. RJ, it's great to have you on. Couldn't ask for a better co-host. And honestly, everyone in this league, I just want to say thanks. It's great having a captive audience, because inside this head, which I might call on the spectrum, I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things. I love making those YouTube shorts. The ones with Otis Perkins, I was laughing my ass off for like 4 hours. And I just love being able to share it with you guys and seeing you appreciate it. It means so much.
Thank you for all that you do, Ted. You do so much for this league.
But unless you guys have anything more, I think we can wrap this up. So, as always,
we're good.
I want to say thanks for listening to the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to get those bets in. Make sure to get them in early before the Thursday day games. And be sure to follow us on social at ZFFFL FF Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, fuck you, Trevor! I think that was our best.